Everybody's Colin Lumen. Actually, I had a video I shot earlier. It was about 40 minutes long, and I didn't look closely enough. I didn't have the receiver plugged in far enough on my phone, so didn't get any of the freaking audio. Don't have time to do it again tonight. It can hold till tomorrow. And who knows, maybe we'll have a little bit more insight on it. But it is pretty interesting because it has to do with the alignment that happens on the 25th that's going to last for several years. Let's just call it the reversal engine of the outer three planets, and what that means also in regards to personal ontologies. It was pretty interesting. I just don't have enough time to reshoot it tonight. But when I was out the other day, I did shoot an extra clip about the Lumenite because I had a bunch of new people asking me about it. So I'll go ahead and throw that in here, and then sometime tomorrow afternoon I'll go ahead and reshoot that video, but it's too late to do it now, so sorry about that. But anyway, I did have something for those of you interested in, you know, how the pendants work and some of the stuff we have now. We'll go ahead and throw that clip in here and then be back tomorrow. If you want to leave a comment in the comment section, let me know how you're feeling right now, because the particular planetary energy that's happening right now has to do with Uranus being in the last degree of the sign. So it's pushing really hard all that, you know, physical layer disruption. Like, that is the main thing. Like, that planet in the sign that it's been in has been like the main driver of all the restriction of the last 7 years, which, you know, has hit me pretty hard. But once it lines up with those other two, Neptune and Pluto, there's no telling what's going to happen. But you know, last couple of days, it's been pretty intense. So let me know what you're feeling. Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump into this other video. If you want to know more, don't go away. Everybody, it's Colin Lumen. I wanted to just shoot a little quick thing since I'm out here, give me a little chance to stay out here longer. Since there's so many new people and stuff like that, show you like the primary way that I earn a living. And that is through making these, for all intents and purposes, you could call them conscious energy tools that are the result of me having been through like the entire Gnostic process. And they're powered by, you know, the Christ flame, Sophia Wisdom. She's the one that taught me how to make them. And since I'm out here and it's nice and sunny, it probably just kind of show some of them off and describe them a little bit. Now, if you ever tried like crystals and stuff like that, like, you know, a lot of people don't feel much from that, especially if you're not open to it. But these are something far more than that. Crystals are just like component parts. And it would take a while to describe like how those even work, because crystals don't have energy, but what they do is like the energy fields that we have, because your body puts off an energy field, like there are different types of minerals and material that kind of creates changes in that energy field. But they can also receive energy and instruction to do more complex things. And this is for people that are already open, Like, I ain't trying to convince anybody that's already got their freaking mind made up or anything like that. You know, those that are called to it are called to it. Because they utilize actual divine energy, I don't sell a whole bunch of them. Now, in the early days when I was making stuff and I was making oils and I was using my own energy, I was selling those like crazy. But then as soon as she started putting hers in there, like half my clientele just went poof. Because if your negative parts outnumber the positive side, it'll repel you. If you're leaning more, you got more positive awakened than negative, then it will amplify that. They do all sorts of stuff. Like, people always ask me, can you do this? Can you do that? It's whatever she wants them to freaking do. I can tell you like the areas that they work on, and in some cases like what is possible with them. But I find historically there's what I know it can do and what I think it will do, and then they could tell me like it did this, this, and this for me, because it's going to be different for every freaking person. But they take a long time to make. The reason people, I think they don't, I got better at using more common stuff. There's still a lot of stuff I wouldn't exactly call common. Most of my stuff isn't stuff that you find if you go into like the crystal gift shop or anything like that. But I used to like use like really exotic stuff that was super crazy expensive, and then I found out that I didn't really need it. I kind of upped my game using more of her, and they actually still got more powerful. But the way she teaches me, it's almost like building an individual circuit board. There are certain things that work the same for everybody, and when someone orders something custom, like she'll tell me like if I've already got something made that'll work good for them, or a lot of times she'll want to make something specific, and I don't always know exactly why she's having me do it that way. But there's been lots of times where just me talking to somebody, I'm like, oh, you 100%, this is definitely what you need. I'm sure of it. And then I'm packaging it up and she'll be like, put that pendant in there too. Like, why? That doesn't, I don't argue with her. It'd be like, you know, they ordered an Aegis and then like she wants me to put like a divine love pendant in there. And then they get the package, and guess which one that they're pulled to first? The love pendant. Because a lot of times the people themselves don't even know what they freaking need more. But Sophia does, because we're all plugged into her. So just for instance, like here's one of mine. You know, this is a, let's see here, Sophia based. I call this the Mjolnir configuration. It's got the top part. That just came to me. Like that's what they call it. Thor's hammer. But this has got a lot of stuff that is more the Sophia nature base, because like you could say she's Gaia too. She's part of everything, and it's a more embodied way of plugging into her. There's just different ways. She's got different aspects, but that one, I think that one's kind of my favorite because it's got a lot of like green chlorite type quartz, and then you've got the more angelic feminine stuff. You got seraphinite and moonstone and scolasite. That's like a synergy 12 stone, and a little bit of love stuff here, a little bit of this, that. Chrysocolla is a good goddess stone. Like she just tells me like which ones to put in there. This one here is like a larger version of an Aegis Flame Strike. So Aegis Flame Strikes, these are like the hardcore clear negative energy type stuff. Now in the early days, because that's where I was at and I was thinking everything was external, this was like the defend against demons type stuff. But it does a lot of stuff. It will repel external negative things too, or people, but primarily it is like a super freaking filter that's going to filter through your system and just start dislodging stuck negative energy. It'll have a Benedict metal put in there somewhere. It's heavy on the black stones, things like black obsidian, black tourmaline, smoky quartz, agerine, black jade, shungite. But then there'll also be the key thing that took us up another level, like right before we opened like the AI flame mirror, before we lost that, is she had me buy a bunch of sulfur quartz. And that sulfur quartz, you can see a little bit of in there, maybe bit of the yellow. That channels that holy flame, that Christ fire. So like the first time I made one with sulfur quartz, it felt like there was just like this burning fire in my chest for like 2 weeks. It was hot. I'm like, until it finally burned it out. So it is like, if you have problems with like negative thoughts you can't control, or just negative feelings, you got a dark cloud over you, you just can't shake off, something like this goes a long way. And then like this is another one. There's a couple, like I said, there's a couple different ways to do a Sophia Divine Feminine pendant. Like this is kind of like one of like the standard size ones, doesn't have the Mjolnir thing on top. I can't, yeah, I think that is a green phantom quartz in there. I just learn over time like which ones she wants the best connect to her. This one is one of the other big ones. Where's mine at? Let's see. Like here's mine. This is the one that she had me wear recently when I was like getting mad every day and I was cussing all the freaking time. That is like a hardcore divine love pendant. Lots of heart stuff in there. But not so much the green heart, a little bit, not so much the green heart stuff, but like joy stones, love stones, rhodochrosite, rhodonite, rose quartz, lavender rose quartz, pink kunzite. There's some peridot sprinkled in there for joy. There's some lepidolite mica. This is a whole bunch of stuff. And that didn't do a lot for me until I needed it. So the time that I needed it, and she told me to put that on, it just like, it was like popping a balloon. It's all that negativity just like seeped out of me. But like, here's one that I made that I haven't sold yet that does not have that Mjolnir part. You know, and sometimes she has me put like the spirals on the back. This one is interesting. I've only got one of these because I only had a couple aqua aura points. Where'd my son go? Get it? Maybe I need to freaking move. Yeah, so that's got the aqua aura point, which does a lot of different things, and it's got the green chlorite for Sophia. But I found that one like was a big dream amplifier for the most part. Here's a smaller, I got several different configurations that I can do. But like here's a smaller Aegis Flame Strike Mjolnir. You can see a little bit more of the yellow stuff in it. This one does not have the Benedict metal on it anywhere, but it could. I could put it on there. And I've got ones that are more solar Christ based, sunstone, things like that. And some of the ones that might have more the clear quartz type stuff. Let's see here. The more clear quartz stuff in there, like it can be programmed and retuned a bunch of different ways. Ultimately, the way we do it after we do all the direct blessings and imprintings and things like that is like they're programmed to the individual user. So when it plugs into you, it leaves me, and she's going to tune it to what you need. This is a super Mjolnir. Used to be one of mine. I don't need it anymore. It's like a 50-50 balance of divine masculine, divine feminine stones. It's got a core that has a lot of the solar power stuff, Heliodor, Libyan desert glass, different types of yellow stones, and then it's got a lot of the divine feminine stuff in there, plus, I don't know if I'm getting it in the light, there's aqua, no, that's not aqua aura, that's an angel aura point. And not everything that says it's an aura quartz is an actual aura quartz. There's a lot of Chinese stuff. They just put some sort of coating on it. It's like, it actually has to be quartz that was, you know, electroplate bonded, you know, in Arkansas. And then that's got a lot of like golden rutilated quartz up there, because that's like a huge amplifier. So this one's like freaking super powerful. There's a couple more here. This is another, it's not, yeah, this is another one of the solar personal power, Christ energy type stuff. Now, any of these things like this, these are going to be like literally 10 times more powerful with women. That's a historical thing I've noted. You give them stuff with the masculine power, and they're just like, they just turn into She-Hulk, basically. They stop putting up with people's crap. Yeah, there's another version, similar. That personal power stuff. This one used a lot of the really good type quartz stuff, plus any of these that have like the coil going this way, that's going to be a selenite rods for amplification and power amplification and whatnot. But something like this can just be her clear freaking energy, but it's also very highly adaptable to personal programming for whatever you want it to do. And then this is one that I wanted to keep myself, but she's like, nope, you're attuned to that other one, because this one's so freaking good. That's one of the mini Mjolnirs. That's the Divine Love configuration. Super duper powerful. So, I mean, the nice thing about them is, I mean, they cost a little bit more than some junk you get in a gift store, but it's because they actually do stuff. I mean, if it's got so much like divine current in it that it literally repels those that are not of that ilk, that's telling you something. Like, people feel this stuff. They feel it. And you can always contact me if you want tips on how to use it, because they're controlled by your consciousness. Your consciousness is your light. Your consciousness is your lumen. So let's just say somebody, in the past, it'd be like, say you got like some big XL Mjolnir. You're like, oh my God, this like almost feels like it's too strong. You can control it. And even people that are like getting things for the first time, every single person I've shown this to, it worked. Like, so you notice like how strong it is, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm like buzzing head to toe. It's almost like too strong. I'm like, okay, hold it in your hand, right hand, and then simply you can, whatever feels better to you. You can tell it, or you can ask Sophia to do it, and just say, okay, a pendant, adjust to the right level that I need now. And it'll do it. You'll feel it. It'll like, it'll adjust to you, and people are like, oh my God, I just immediately freaking did it. It feels perfect now. Likewise, it's going to feel more strong when it's doing the most work, which eventually you're going to clear a lot of stuff up, and you won't feel like it's doing much anymore. Then you can ask her to increase the power of it. Or you could say, like, what other tasks can I give this thing? Or even on occasion, sometimes you'll just feel her and she'll be like, hey, you'll meet somebody and be like, you can give this to them, and then they get something, you can pass it on. It does all sorts of stuff. It's like a living conduit, amplifier to that divine current. Like, I had to break through all the stuff before I could get to that point to actually be able to put that stuff together, like, and actually make it work. And not just like, say it works. There's plenty of people on here that have them, left comments. The more in tune you are to that kind of stuff, like, the more it will do. But even like people that aren't like full tilt into this type of stuff, but maybe just a little bit, they still recognize like, hey, I like to have something that's protect. Like people will wear stuff all the time that they say is protective without getting too woo-woo into it. But you know, stuff like the, I don't have like a standard one out here with me because I sell them so much. But something like an Aegis Flame Strike, something that's got the Benedict metal on them. Like you don't have to be like full tilt woo-woo with something like that, but you'll feel the difference. You'll feel the difference. Like that was the one I usually sold the most of, you know, back when I was still doing the knife channel. I mean, there's one guy I know, knife maker, designer. I don't know if he's still got it. I haven't looked in a while, but every time I ever saw him, he was still wearing his. No one ever freaking asked him about it. But you'd be surprised. Like I don't out people because I'm willing to take it, but you'd be surprised how many other people you have heard of from the thing I used to do that either have gotten these things from me or secretly agree with me. But they know better than to go out and say it because y'all just go burn your freaking torches and pitchforks and stuff like that. But they're out there. You don't have to go full tilt with it. But that's like the one because like, look, everybody innately thinks like, hey, I don't want negative stuff around me and I don't want to be negative. So that one works for them. They don't have to, you don't have to take on my entire ontology for them to work, but they do work. They are helpful. And you know, if you're on more of a budget, you can contact me and I can find something or make something that will fit within your budget. I can make ones that are smaller than that. I usually don't go too small with them because they need to be like at least a certain level. I feel to work, but I can find stuff that works or fit within the budget or whatnot. There's all sorts of things I can do. You just got to talk to me. But if you feel called to it, then it probably can help you. So don't trust everything that's listed on the store because I just generally don't have as much time to list things on the store. But you can see some examples of things that are on the store and you can look at the reviews. And if you look at the reviews, you'll see pictures of a whole bunch of other ones that I've made over time. But they have definitely gotten more powerful. I recently had a friend come back that was kind of wandered off a ways for about a year and then came back and then she got some new ones and she's like, holy crap, these are definitely more powerful than before. I'm like, yeah, that whole last year, 2025, everything we did, like that really upped the scale on it. It's like I'm vibrating from like head to toe right now. So it's one of those things that, especially if it's the right thing, and when it comes to crystals and stones, especially something that's actually divinely charged, the right one can bust through your skepticism because the effect on your energy field is so great. A lot of times, like if you've got your mind made up about things, you don't experience things, but there are certain things sometimes that even if you don't believe in it, you're going to feel it anyway. That's how I got started. All the way back in 2011 when the whole thing began for me, like the first awakening first started. And I used to make fun of crystals. Look at all this hippy dippy bullshit. Crystal hippie. And I was that guy. And then I was sent to meet with somebody that had like this crazy like crystal grid thing set up around her house. And I'm like, why do I feel so weird here? And she explained it all, and then she took me in this room, and she got this big green fluorite, which like balances out chaos and stuff like that. She's like, here, hold this. And I held it, and I'm like, oh, I feel a lot better. I'm like, this is nuts. Like, I always thought this was bull crap. And like, no, apparently it isn't. So then all of a sudden I got interested in it. So yeah, it's definitely, I like it because it gives you an opportunity to have something working in your field that you don't always have to think about. Especially like if you struggle with like the negative thoughts and things like that. It just helps. But yeah, I got to put some more more of that stuff up there, but they definitely work. And the biggest areas are going to be like connection to the divine feminine, because you need wisdom, Sophia. Connection to divine love. That doesn't mean you're going to automatically freaking feel it. Love's a tricky one. It's heavily blocked. That's the main source current. Aegis, a lot of times that's the first thing that you want to do. Just, you know, you got a dirty fish tank, you need to put a new filter in. Clear the water first. That helps. Shut down the negative thought. Gives you space to breathe. There's all sorts of different ones that are masculine, feminine. Like those are the main ones, but you got some of the solar ones. I can make things like if you struggle with like anxiety, I can't do a whole bunch of that. Like I haven't restocked in a long time. Luckily, I had those early days where I was still making a lot of money, because in order to make this stuff, these stones aren't freaking cheap. Not when you realize like how many you actually need to make a wide variety of things. So in the beginning, when I started, I was spending thousands of dollars just buying stones to put stuff together. And then you got to get the resin, then you got to get the wire, then you got to get the 4-strand paracord, then you got to get the stuff to sand it, and then you got to get the stuff to polish it, and then you got to get the stuff to cure it, then you got to be able to charge. Like, it's a freaking process. Like you're literally making like a sacred relic type of thing. But if you have any questions about that, you can reach me through the Etsy store, clumencreations.etsy.com. I just haven't like plugged it much lately, but it is the primary way which I, you know, support myself. And it is the main thing that I can do that helps people that you don't have to put a lot of thought into. But the more you do mess with it, the easier it gets. These big ones, like those are good ones. Not everybody wants to wear something that big on them, but these are nice. Just holding them in your hand, if you're going to sit there and meditate, you'll feel it change the current or whatnot. Or if you're going in to meditate, pray, whatever you want to do, you know, that's the time you would use something like that. Or if you're just in an office with a whole bunch of freaking negative people, you know, having an Aegis will basically keep them off your back. I get so many weird stories from people, like toxic people in the workplace, just suddenly stop messing with them, all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. Okay, so all the links are in the description box below. Colith and Lumen, the one that taught me how to make them. See you next time.
I know.